this blew up way more than I thought. Yeah, this got really out of control yesterday on Twitter. And so I suppose let's talk about it. So in case you guys don't know, the largest, her words, not mine. I don't know political streamers. I don't care. I know some names like Denims and Hassan. I would hardly consider Asmongold a political streamer, to be completely honest. You know, I just think he doesn't really talk about politics. He's like, oh, dude, look at that. Trump's being funny again. Oh, dude, true, dude. Yep, you know it, I know it, everybody knows it. Anyways, oh God, cockroaches. Is he really a political commentator? I don't really think so. To me, he's always just going to be a gamer. I mean, to be honest, that's the videos that I watch of him. You know, I mean, like, if you do the politics, you can do whatever the fuck you want. I don't really care. And it's not that I have anything against him. I just like Asmongold because I just think it's fascinating how he's a multimillionaire and he lives in garbage. And I will never understand why he does that. And after doing a podcast with him for 2 years and being a part of an org with him for 3 years and me saying, hey, man, you want me to, like, help you out with that? He's like, no, I just won't look at it. I'm like, all right. Okay, well, then I suppose you do your thing then, brother. Anyways, there was a female on the internet. Her name is Denims. She's been, well, I would personally say pretty damn obsessed with me and my life. And if you don't believe me now, well, let me just paint the groundwork. So first of all, she has rated me about 3 times before I even knew her. She was frequent in my chat before I even knew her. I have some chat logs. I would give you guys the full logs, but unfortunately, I am banned on Twitch. But in 2 days, I would love to go over them again if anybody doubts anything that I'm saying. It's very easy, and just to show you proof, I actually cannot access them because I am still locked out of Twitch, even though they appealed my ban and approved it, which is just, you know, that's just so good. So Denims has been going in on me, calling me ugly, fat, bald, which I think are funny. She calls me loud. She calls me annoying, which I think are funny. But the words that I have a problem with is when she calls me a sexual predator. Calls me a sex pest, a predator, a rapist, an abuser. I mean, calls my father a rapist when there's literally court documents disproving that rapes ever happened. It just didn't fucking happen. I mean, to be honest, I don't even think rapes were even discussed. I don't know where they got that from, but I think these political streamers just really just love throwing the rape word around, which is great because you guys are making it so good for real rape victims to get sympathy. It's great. Yep, just keep on watering down the word. Why don't we use the words correctly when we're supposed to be looked as figureheads in the political space? We should use the proper terminology. If someone sexually harassed someone, they're a sexual harasser. If someone sexually assaulted someone, they're a sexual assaulter. If someone rapes someone, they're a rapist. Hope this helps. Let's use the right terminologies. It's really cool. You want to say, is this really the hill he wants to die on? Yes. We should use proper terminology and proper descriptors when describing someone, when that is your job, when that is how you pose yourself as. And that's why, Denims, I call you a whore. And yes, Frogan, that's why I call you fat. And if you don't believe me about everything that I say about Denims, well, just wait, because we got some leaked DMs. It's going to be great. Anyways, Denims used to raid me a lot, was in my chat quite often. It was, you know what, it was all things pretty nice. But then the whole issue with my ex happened, and then all of a sudden, she's now claiming that they were best friends when, Denims, I don't even believe that you two spoke before any of the controversy came out. And do you want to know why that is? That's because you don't care about victims of SA, victims of rape. You just want to find stories that you can weaponize. And if you don't believe me on that, just wait, because I got a clip on that too. And this is just going to be great. So, Denims leaks my DMs. And this is something that I usually never needs to be done unless things really get out of hand. And she leaks some DMs, and I'm not going to lie. My career really took a toll. She really exposed me here. She did. She really exposed me. She says this. Going to make a special exception and share these DMs with Tectone to the public. Do with this info what you will. And she leaks my DMs. Guys, a tale as old as time. How many times have people leaked my DMs? Many times. How many times did they make me look bad? Fucking 0. Do you think these DMs are going to do anything of the contrary? Well, let's find out. So she leaked our DMs, and here's what I said, and these are the entirety of our DMs. January 17th. Yo, you want to play Marvel Rivals sometime? 1 minute later. I know we've had poor interactions in the past, and we've both said pretty awful shit to one another, but I kind of don't want to hold grudges on people anymore. All good if not. What do we think, guys? Yeah, maniac behavior right there, right? Abusive behavior, right? I know, permaban. Really nasty stuff. You're cooked. Context of these DMs, the situation that I'm in of being lied about nonstop, it got to me. It did. I was in the hospital. The doctor said I was far too stressed and I needed to just handle my stress levels. So I said, you're right. This shit's getting way too crazy. I've been pretty ugly. I deserve a lot of the harassment that I'm getting. Other people have been pretty ugly towards me. Maybe it's not about content for them. Maybe it's actually just about doing the right thing. And I said, fuck it. Even though these people have fucked with me relentlessly over situations they don't understand, maybe I can bury the hatchet. I sent this DM to multiple people, by the way, attempting to just bury the hatchet, because for me, you might call me a drama channel. I really have no interest in drama unless I feel like it's me doing the right thing. That's it. Sure, do I get into a lot of problems? Yeah, because there's a lot of fucked up things happening on the internet. But this thing between me and Denims, it's just not content. It's boring, it's ugly, it's destructive, it's hurtful to real victims. And I'm gonna be real, once people understand that once again Pink was lying about what she did, this is gonna make actual victims even harder to take seriously. And this is why women who make false allegations should be punished fucking severely. Because, and Denims, by the way, like I was willing to just actually tell you my side with proof. I wasn't even gonna fucking ask you to take my word for anything. I was actually gonna say, fuck it. I was gonna get rid of my paranoia. I was just gonna say, hey, I will show you everything. I'll talk to you. I don't care. Because, dude, and this is once again, me probably being stupid. Maybe there's a part where Denims isn't evil. Maybe she's just really fucking stupid. And maybe she's like actually not immune to reason. And maybe we just let the police do their job. But instead, she goes live and shows these of me being a very reasonable person and attempts to weaponize it. So I respond with, guys, Denims leaked that I'm a reasonable, forgiving person before she started calling me a rapist. Am I cooked? Yeah, man, oh man. It was pretty rough. 14,000 likes on this tweet, including my own, of course, and only 310,000 views. With public perception on my channel being, oh no, you try to be the bigger man and put aside your differences despite having totally different outlooks in the world. While she wants to live in an echo chamber and verge into their tolerant audience. You're an evil fucking animal. I know, right? Didn't she build her career off defending rapists and denying rape? I'm confused. And if you don't know the context of that, well, man, why don't we get into that? Let's talk about example number one. Denims, you do not care about victims. You look forward to weaponizing any story you can to make thine enemies weaker. However, if one of your friends fucks up, Hassan, which I know you've been sucking his dick daily, you will go to any length to defend his actions as well as your own. So, in case you guys don't know, there were actual rape victims that are documented, that there has been proof of. And do you want to see how Denims talks about them when them being raped goes against their friend's story? Well, why don't we just go into the time machine, Denims? Because I hate to tell you this, all the content you're making on the internet, it's public. So why don't we go into all this shit right here, guys?
This is a 17-year-old.
Oh, and by the way, this is Destiny. People may not like him. I think he has a way with words. And Denims frequently calls Ethan a Destiny orbiter. Well, I got some screenshots for you guys to really show who the real orbiter is, or as I like to call, Horbiter, because she tries to fuck people to get collabs. All right, cool, let's get in here, let's keep going.
Whose family was murdered in front of her, and she was kidnapped for 50 days and continually raped while being in captivity. Nothing to say? Nothing? You're not gonna fucking acknowledge what just happened?
I will acknowledge what just happened. This woman who you claim...
Oh, Denims, you just sound so professional. Look at you. You're just so professional. You're handling this so well. Look at this. You're putting on my "I'm serious now" voice. Let me tell you how Denims debates. Don't get me wrong, guys. I was doing a little bit of detective research. I committed the grave sin of actually consuming a Denim stream. Ugh. Gulp. That was a fate worse than fucking death. Let me tell you how she goes about addressing her controversy. If the person makes a good point, she ignores it entirely and continues letting the video play. Or she will laugh and say that it's untrue without providing any rebuttal whatsoever besides a mere laugh. Then she will take any opportunity to pull up old clips of these people to try to make fun of their appearance or make fun of their looks. Completely unrelated jabs, nothing demonstrating the underlying issue with the supposed behavior that she's saying that they have. And then she will misrepresent the person's argument and argue points that were not discussed whatsoever. And the good news is, as long as she says, chat, we should all be blah-ha-haing. And yes, I'll be real. Her chat was roasting the fuck out of her, and so she had to instruct the exact behavior that she wanted them to do, because Denims, when you also see the replies to your tweet, brother, you got fucked harder than you wanted to get fucked by Destiny in those replies, brother. And no amount of likes matters because all those motherfuckers are brainwashed Hassan viewers. You know you got fucked hard. Let's keep going here.
Was continually raped in captivity, did not claim to have been raped.
Oh! And guys, she's talking so seriously. She's talking so genuinely. She must be right. She's definitely not just a fucking idiot. Well, unfortunately, guys, we got about 1:40 left in this clip, so let's get into it.
כל פעם שפגשתי מישהו היה לפחות מישהי או מישהו אחד חוו התעללות מינית והתעללות פיזית. כמעט, כאילו חצי מהם.
In that interview, she says that at least half the hostages she spoke to said they were sexually assaulted. At no point did she claim that anything had happened to her, and to my knowledge so far, no hostages have given first-hand accounts of being sexually assaulted in captivity.
Oh, well, Denims, even I watched the full interview. And if you would have let the video play just a little bit longer, you'd know this too. However, just like you did in a prior situation, you only read half the article. Just like when you said you can do whatever you want to children, as long as they're below the ages of 3 and 4, they won't remember the travesties that you commit to them. Yeah, you remember that? You remember that? When you said you could do that to children, you could do anything you want to children as long as they're not above the age 4. Remember that? That's what you said. That is what you said. And how apropos is it that the woman who used to draw lolly porn is saying that about kids? Now, I just want you guys to know, what do you think the next clip is going to be played? Is going to say? Why don't we just go look? Here we go.
Minda.
Now, I remember thinking, now is the moment. Something, what you thought about is going to happen. And then I remember I turned around. He was standing with his gun, and the gun was pointed out at me, and he was huffing and breathing heavily, and he had a face like a monster, like a beast, like this. So I stood up and held a blanket, a small blanket, to cover myself, and he came towards me and just pointed the gun really hard at my forehead, screaming at me, take it off, and punching me until I could not hold the towel anymore. And he started touching me, and I resisted, and then he dragged me to the bedroom. And then he forced me to commit a sexual act on him.
No hostages have given first-hand accounts of being sexually assaulted in captivity.
Do you want to know why you're such a disgusting, pathetic, stupid retard, Denims? because you don't care about any of these atrocities that have affected these victims of real instances of rape. You never cared. You want to know why? Because if you did, that would have made your daddy Hassan look bad. And oh man, you couldn't have that. You don't care about victims. You don't care about the stories. You only weaponize them to further your own career as well as your daddy's. You're a disgusting human being, and may God have mercy on your soul. Now, if you thought that it couldn't possibly get any worse than that, guys, I don't even think we're halfway done. Why don't we continue? Oh, and by the way, guys, we may have a follow-up because I have received some crazy DMs, but even I don't feel stooping that low to even talking about these. But I'm telling you, I could say much worse shit. However, I have no interest in doing that. So let's continue going here. Let's continue going. So that was another response by Blue Voldemort, Nuxtaku. Given the accusation she's making, I was expecting the DMs to be dick pics and you asking to see her booty hole. Yeah, no, I'm good. Absolutely not. So she's calling you out for trying to squash any beef. She's so fucking weird, man. I followed it up by saying maybe she wasn't excited about Marvel Rivals. So I just followed up today and I said, maybe would you prefer Mario Kart instead? Great game, great game. So these are just my replies. Why don't we look at hers? Because obviously the people on my chat are going to be on my side. The people on her chat are going to be on her side. And then we'll show a neutral party. So let's keep going here. So this is Denims spamming her timeline, praying to God to just drown out any of the mental retardation she caused to herself. Another self-own that Hassan Abi must have really taught you how to do here. And here's the tweet. 27,000 likes, by the way. 27,000 likes and 1.1 million views. And I want everybody here to understand that if you are of sound mind, you understand that these DMs that she leaked make me look amazing. But the people in her stupid ass community are so fucking dumb that 27,000 people like that shit. There's a word for it. Yeah, it's called fucking blatant botting. And you know that's blatant botting because when I scroll through all of my replies, for some reason, everybody who liked the post is saying, yeah, Techie, you're right. Now, here's my question. What do you guys think the top comments are going to be on her post? So she makes a follow-up tweet saying she's so obsessed with me and even reached out to play Fortnite with me. I expose his lies. She never exposed the lies. That's why she didn't include anything of her exposing lies. That's just like, when the fuck did you expose my lies? What was I lying about? This person said this, in parentheses, and then I totally freaking owned him. I must not have seen that. I must not have seen that. Oh, and by the way, Denims, these are your logs, by the way. These are your logs after you rated me last year. Look at that. And the first thing that you want to talk about is STDs. Man, why don't we just go ahead and get our mind out of the gutter, huh? Why don't we get our mind out of the gutter? Let's keep going here, guys. Let's keep going here. Wow, this is what men get for me trying to extend an olive branch. Sorry, I'm not interested in olive branches for people who sexually abuse my friends. Plural? And speak about women this way. And so then she links a clip of me. Once again, she says this is me sexually assaulting her. She says this is sexual assault. Let's go ahead and read this. All right, here we go. Let's see what horrible thing I said. Denims talks about you. Dude, I only watch Denims clips offline. Yeah, with my pants off. Yeah, I can't watch those on stream. Yeah, just shouldn't bother. Mm-hmm. You take offense to a very obvious joke when the first message you type in my chat is about STDs. And I'm sorry that I said, oh, dude, the only good content Denims has on her OnlyFans. I literally give you a plug. I literally hook you up. I gave you a plug. I gave you a fucking plug, bro. And you're gonna hold that against me? Man, I probably made you at least $5,000 off that shit. The least you could do is say fucking thank you. Like, damn, bro, what the fuck? I mean, that's a very harmless joke. Hey, Denims is talking shit about you. I don't care. She has an OnlyFans. I'm gonna move on. OnlyFans detected, opinion rejected. Moving on. I didn't even want to bother with it. Once again, I send a DM saying, hey, we've both said nasty shit. Let's move on. Brings up into my chat again. I don't feel like dealing with it. I don't care what she said. OnlyFans detected, opinion rejected. Moving on. And we are still here. We are still here. I have tried to move forward, not once, but now documented 2 fucking times. And your obsessed ass is still talking about me. Why? Is it because I'm just so damn sexy? Is it because I'm so fine? I don't know what it is. You probably hear my voice and it probably causes you buckets. But let's keep going here. She responds with this little tweet and I respond with, so we gonna play or what? Smash JT types, were you trying to look good here? Lamau. Him asking you to play, this is in reference to Denims, by the way. Him asking you to play Marvel Rivals doesn't equal being obsessed with you. Think before you sleep says, bro just wants to game with a fellow Twitch streamer. It's not that big of a deal. Another person says, so Tectone decided to be a bigger man and settle a grudge drama, so he was the first one to step forward to do the right. Denims TV, you were just an undateable and obnoxiously miserable cunt. Not sorry. I don't even know who the fuck this guy is. I did give him a follow though, because I was like, oh, anybody who says good things about me, I like him. And your biggest supporter was Manic Pixie Dreamalo, a girl who has 1,000 followers called Attention Whore, Internet Cryptid, Often Crass. And they say, girl, what? And if you think that's bad, that you have no supporters on your replies, why don't we go even further? Why don't we look at the quote retweets? Here's 2 comments right off the rip. So this motherfucker tried squabbling the beef with you and you tried to put him on blast. Holding your hands while I say this, Tectonic might be onto something about you. The next comment by Jay Viper. You are retarded. This doesn't do what you think it does. It makes you look extremely petty. Common Tectone W, which by the way, I also gave him a follow because I follow anybody who says Tectone W. I'm very easy to please. I'm like Kai Cenat. Denims, you got fucking railed. And you know what's crazy? We still have another perspective to go through, Denims. Yes, unfortunately, your spanking is not done yet. So then a neutral party weighs in on the matter by the name of Yeet, Awk 20,000. And he posts our feud with no context and completely fair to both sides. Tectone and Denims are going at it on the timeline after she leaked DMs from January 2025 of him asking to play a game and hash out the beef. My response, Denims leaked that I'm a reasonable, forgiving person before she started calling me a blank, blank, blank criminal. Very easy. There is no poisoning the well. There is no bad faith arguments. This is merely just reporting a factual recollection of what actually happened. And why don't we go through the comments? Oh, don't worry. We have something big to show. Don't want to spoil that yet. We have Donut Operator saying, breaking news, Tectone trying to be a nice guy. If she buried the hatchet, what else besides sucking off Hasanabi and fueling her ego and hatred would keep her relevant? Imagine calling out someone for being a decent person and offering an olive branch. Denims is a fucking psycho. I feel sorry for anyone who has friends with her. Another person. She's such an idiot. She has no idea she's literally proved his entire point. Such a drama-ridden failed e-girl. What is it with this squad and their own self-owns? The Sans constant L's are rubbing off on the rest of them. Another one. The problem is she's ideologically opposed to Tectone. He's clearly reaching out in good faith, and the fact that she ignored him is telling. The fact that she leaked DMs from January is even more telling. When is Denims going to be held accountable for harassment? Denims, I mean this genuinely, when nobody has your back. Because you look fucking retarded. It is insane. Brother, you scored one of the biggest L's on your career versus one of the easiest opponents. It is so easy to get a dunk on me. You had a woman who I've spoken to her once, say that I abused her and that I lived with her in the form of minks. And that post got 20,000 likes when we haven't even fucking met each other. People believed that she lived with me just because she said it. When you're a woman and you go up against me, you can make up any fucking lie and people will believe it without reaching out to me once, which, by the way, Denims, if you really wanted to know the truth of this whole situation and you just wanted to know what actually happened, and this was before me and you were on good terms, why didn't you reach out to me? If you really wanted to know the truth and you weren't just pushing an agenda, why didn't you reach out to me? If you didn't see this as an easy opportunity to boost your career, why didn't you just reach out to me? I would love to know. Because if you really want the truth and you say yourself that you've seen proof that I did it. That's weird. That's weird because every other person I've ever talked to about this says there's none because it didn't fucking happen. And you want to know why? Because it didn't fucking happen. So Denims, why did you never reach out to me? Tectone, the reason why I didn't reach out to you is because I know how people like you are. You're an abuser and your behavior is disgusting. And that's why I would never reach out to you. And I think women on this platform have a hard enough time as it is. And honestly, it's laughable that you'd ever even think that I'd talk to you. After you were in my chat, after you rated me 3 times, shut the fuck up, bitch. And if you're really so above talking to dangerous men, so afraid of talking to, in your words, sex pest, yeah, you know that guy you talk to? Sex Pestiny? Yeah, you know him. That's what you call him. That's what you call him. That's your man's. Sex Pestiny? Well, why don't we look at the way that you talk to Destiny, huh? Here's your DMs with Destiny. Denims. It really sucks that we didn't fuck. Surprised face. You've still got part of the day left. You can do it, bud. Wait, are you actually serious? I don't know. Are you guys not on good terms now? No, on good terms with who? Atlas? What? I wanted to fuck Atlas and you. That's you, bro. That's you. Yep. That's you, brother. You're the one who got upset because I called you a whore when you're trying to get double dick down by Destiny and whoever the fuck Atlas is. Bro, you see this man's face and you come. You're so upset because you called Destiny, or you call Ethan a Destiny orbiter, which is so apropos because you wanted Destiny's balls orbiting around your fucking face. That's what's crazy. And here's Ethan Klein weighing in on the matter. H3H3 Productions. When Denims calls me an orbiter, a Destiny orbiter, just remember. Go ahead, Denims. Tell me how I'm wrong. Tell me how I'm wrong. And you know what's so fucked up, Denims? You know what's actually so fucked up? I am still open to having a private conversation with you. I am, just to talk things out. I am so above this. I have no desire to continue this. I would love to never have to talk about you again, and I would love to get that game of Mario Kart World. I would just like you to say sorry, and for you talking out your ass on a situation you have no idea about. And maybe you feel like you do know about it, but you can't, because there's one person's perspective, there's another person's perspective, and then there's the truth. And it is your job as a reporter, as a journalist, like you call yourself, to get both sides. And you never did that once. And I think that's a shame. Now, I will be real. I have no interest in discussing any of this on stream, well, because I just fucking can't. But if you'd like to have a private conversation, my DMs are open. We can talk about it over a nice game of Mario Kart. And if you want, you can bring your friends. It doesn't have to just be me and you. We can talk to all of our friends. You bring your friends, I bring my friends. It'll be great. I have no interest. You may or may not believe this. I actually don't like drama when it involves me. Other people, it's great. But as far as this goes, I'm good. If you want to continue duking it out, I suppose we can. But I just really have no interest. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.